Good morning or evening or afternoon, depending on wherever you are in the world. It's a beautiful sunny day here in London, in Lincoln's Inn Fields. This park's in the centre of London near the Hunter Museum, the Pepys Museum. This is a centre, kind of medicine and law in London. And today we're having our meeting, our regular Saturday meeting we have every 2 weeks, where we have about 200 people coming to learn why the industrial age idea of getting a job, going to school, getting good grades, going to uni, ending up £40,000 in debt, not being able to afford a house, working as a slave for an employer for the rest of your life, 40 hours a week for 40 years, to end up making in your pension 40% of the money you receive in your job, 4 weeks holiday a year, 1 hour for lunch. You have to be there by 9, finish at 5, often later. People live a box life, they wake up in a box. First thing they look at in the morning is a box, probably one of the ones what you're holding now in your hand, which is your phone. They have their breakfast in a box. They get in a box, which is the train or the car or the bus. They go to work, they spend their whole day in a box, their office looking at a box, their computer, probably have their sandwich in a box, and get in a box, go home, watch the box, the TV, before they go to bed, have a quick look at their box, the phone, hoping that something on social media is going to make them feel connected somewhere in the world, and then go to sleep in their box, their bed, and do it all over again for 40 years of their life, absolutely wasted. So, I did that for most of my working life, but 2 years ago I decided, enough was enough. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I managed to get myself fired from my job, because I think inside I was so unhappy with what I was doing and selling my soul in a way, not fulfilling my own dreams, not following my own dreams. And 2.5 years ago, I kind of reached that crossroads in life where we feel, enough's enough. It doesn't matter how old you are. You could be 18 and really look at your life and think, do I want to spend the rest of my life making someone else's dreams come true, fulfilling someone else's dreams? There's nothing wrong with having a job. It's better than not having one, but I can tell you, a job, a job, is just over broke. Employers will pay you just enough money so you don't leave. And you're earning enough money, just enough money so you don't leave. So, guys, unless you're something like a doctor or you have like a mission in life, I don't think having a job is a way to spend our lives. It was created in the industrial age when we had an agricultural economy. About 200 years ago, 97% of the world worked in an agricultural economy. When we started industrialization, we needed factory workers. We created the education system to teach people to read and write so they can go and operate machines. Nothing's really changed. The only difference is we operate a different kind of machine. Guys, if you're listening to this and you think, what? I really know there's more to me. All of you on this call, every single person on this call is capable of being more, doing more, achieving more. Every single one of you listening has got infinite potential. When we're about 7 years old, we dream. We can imagine our life in the future. And the problem is, as we get older and we get stuck in habitual behavior, getting up, doing the same thing every day, you stop to dream, you stop to believe that anything else is possible. But I can tell you it is, because I stopped 2.5 years ago. Now I live a life of financial freedom. I'm blessed. I no longer, I work harder now, ironically, than I ever have, but I work on my own dreams, my own fortune, my own vision. And what I really love is I'm helping a lot of other people do the same. I have more than 500 people in a team worldwide, everywhere from South Africa right across to Asia, Latin America, UK, Europe. And my mission is to help every single one of those people achieve their dreams, because guess what? Success is really easy. Success is actually the progressive realization of worthy ideal. But if you want to be successful, it's really simple. All you have to do is help enough people get what they want, and you will definitely get what you want. If you can help enough people get what they want out of life, then you would definitely get what you want. And a couple of other things. It's really interesting. I found through this business, I found my faith in God, and the J word. People don't like to hear this word. A lot of people get really upset about this word, Jesus. I don't know why people get so upset. When I talk about, I've had friends for many, many years, and this business I'm in now has brought me to faith. Who would have believed it? That a business God would draw you to him through a business. It's the strangest thing. I can't explain it. It is the strangest secret, as Earl Nightingale says. And what's very interesting, as soon as you start to talk about your faith and a belief in God and Jesus, a lot of people get upset. And I think the reason they get upset is not because they are anti-God or anti-Jesus. They just have a lack of that feeling of fulfillment and purpose in their own life. And if they're not feeling that, then obviously they get upset and annoyed because they may not even know why. So if you are watching this, all I would say is, you know, my life has changed completely. I feel blessed. Nothing's ever perfect. I've got my own challenges. You know, I've got personal stuff going on in my life. Many of you know. If my beautiful, beloved wife is watching this, then you're one of them. So nothing's ever perfect in life, you know, guys, but we can choose to be happy in the moment. If you're happy and grateful in the moment, if you choose to be happy, happiness is not an emotion. You know, it can be, but happiness is a decision. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are. There's a book by a guy called Viktor Frankl, who was a Viennese psychiatrist, Jewish guy, was put in a concentration camp in the war. His book is called Man's Search for Meaning. I highly recommend it, Man's Search for Meaning. And he said, the only thing people can't take away from you is your attitude of mind. What does that mean? We are exactly as happy as we decide to be, exactly as happy as we decide to be, regardless of circumstances. And if you're grateful and happy for what you have, then God will give you more. Whether you believe God, the universe, you will get more. You know, if you're ungrateful and you're completely, you know, miserable and complaining, guess what? You're going to get more of the same. So I'm here in this beautiful park. You know, I'm happy. I'm alive. I'm focused on helping other people get what they want out of life. And like I said, if you are in a position in your life when you feel unfulfilled, things are not going the way you want them to go, first thing I would do is pray. Because that's what I did and it worked for me. All I can say is my personal experience, it worked for me, and I know many other people it worked for, is pray. Who to? Well, to God. And the second thing is make a decision that you're going to do something to change, because moaning, complaining and just wishing and hoping doesn't make any difference, right? You've got to make a decision to really have a close, you know, really hard look at your life, a truthful look, like an inventory of yourself, of your life, where you are, and then just spend a little bit of time contemplating. Go for a walk on you know, along the beach or in the park or the countryside, because that's the closest you get to God, because that's His creation, not ours. You know, cities are our creation. And then have a bit of a contemplate, have a bit of a ponder on, you know, what you really want out of a life. Have a ponder, take some time, dwell upon it. And some ideas will start to come to your mind. Write them down, no matter how nonsensical they feel, no matter how fantastical or absurd they feel. Write it down like a shopping list of what you want out of life. And then spend about a week looking at it in writing and you know, like distilling it until you get to the core of what you really want out of life. Write that down like this: I'm so happy and grateful to God, now that. And whatever it is that you want, write it in the simple present. I'm so happy and grateful to God, now that. Write it down. Produce a goal card like the one I always carry. I carry these with me everywhere I go. What's on here? My future. And the more you think about it, the more you're going to believe it, and then things start to come true. Why? You can call it a miracle, you can call it whatever you want, but it works. So if you're watching this, you know, you've got to have a close, hard look at your life, where you are, and be honest with yourself. Are you really happy and fulfilled? If you're not, then have a look at why you think you're not, and then take some time to ponder what you really want out of life, and write it down, write your dreams down, write your goals down, put them on a card, and think of that, and start to pray, and miracles will start. Isn't it interesting? When we pray, miracles happen. When we don't, they don't. Isn't that interesting? So I'm here in central London. If you want to change your life, if you're one of my friends, or even you think you're my enemy, I don't mind. Get in touch with me and see if I can help in any way. I've changed my life. I found faith, and I'm going to have a great day in central London. You know, I don't always wake up over the moon and feeling great, but I make a conscious decision. Today is going to be the best day of the rest of my life. The best day ever. I'm not saying it always is. Sometimes, you know, things don't go according to plan, but at least I make a conscious decision. I'm happy and grateful for my life and what I've got, my family, my health, and I know I'm going to get blessed, and there's going to be more. There's an abundance out there in life, guys. Just make a decision. If you're not happy, make a decision to change, start to pray, write your dreams down, and stay focused on what you want and not what your current circumstances are. Have a blessed day. Speak to you all soon.